everybody, it's Taker. How are you all doing? That's good. Welcome to a story time, which is a new series that I'll be doing on my channel, so I hope you enjoy. Anyway, let me hit you snack face with an update. There will be no more videos on Monday. I am sorry to let you all know this, but there's been some things coming up in my personal life that have gotten in the way of me making videos on Mondays, so there will be no videos on Mondays. I am so sorry, but you will still get videos on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So please, and Fridays, so please still stay in tune, because I will still be here, just not on Mondays. Anyway, this is the story time of how I stole my best friend's boyfriend, and then they stopped being friends with me. Anyway, you'll hear more about these friends in other story times, because I was friends for them for a while, and then they left me. Anyway, it was my fault, but you'll see in this story why. So, let's get started. Hey, guys, I think I'm gonna ask out T. Oh my god, S, you should so go for it. Yeah, totally. So, we were super excited for S to go out with T, right? So anyway, in middle school, we had this rule where we had to swap classes every few hours. So I actually had a class with T. So when this class ended, they went off to their own class, okay? And I went off to my other class with T, okay? So I'm sitting in class with T, and I'm getting all excited because, like, at the time, I had a crush on him too, which was really bad because S had a crush on him and I had a crush on him at the same time, which just made it all totally worse. Anyway, so, I think S is gonna ask you out. Really? I've been really excited for this. I mean, we've dated a few times, and it just didn't go well a few times, but I actually think I'm gonna make this work this time. Oh, okay, go for it. Thanks, you're the best. So, me and T were, like, close friends. Like, really close friends. And like, I had, like, this huge crush on him for, like, multiple months. Oh, it was so embarrassing. Anyway, he was, like, super adorable. Anyway, I was like trying to get really close with him and all this. And then lunch ended up happening. So we're sitting there at lunchtime and S is just going off about T and how she's gonna ask him out and everything. It's gonna be like this cutest thing ever. And meanwhile, I'm over here thinking to myself, ooh, but I want him for myself. How can I take him from you and give him to me? Which is probably like the worst thing I could have done at the time. But, like, I didn't care at the time, and I guess it was my own fault for my friends leaving me, because at the time I didn't care and I just wanted to be with this dude, which is really dumb now that I think about it. But anyway, so I'm gonna ask him out after school. Oh my god, go for it. Well, you guys have fun with that. I have to go home and do chores. Yeah, well, you go ahead and do that. So, see, S and C didn't really treat me well at the time, and I didn't really realize it until later on. Anyway, S and C were always hanging out, like, without me, and I didn't understand why, and I think I know now why. They just didn't like me. Wish they would have told me this sooner instead of keeping me along, but whatever. But yeah, they just kind of hanged out without me all the time, so yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, while they're all talking, I'm texting T, and we're planning on hanging out after school. And S is planning on asking T out when we're hanging out. And oh my god, it was just one big mistake, okay? Like, this whole day was one big mistake. Anyway, the lunch ended, I went off to class. My last class was with T, so obviously me and T were talking about what we were gonna do when we were gonna hang out after school. And we were, like, really confused on what we were gonna do, like, really confused. Anyway, so that was being set up, and I was also telling him about how S was gonna ask him out, because I was just spoiling all the secrets, because he didn't know about this until I just spoiled it all for him. Like, I spoiled everything for him, so he knew everything. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm so excited, oh yeah, all this and that, I'm so excited. And then the bell rang, so then it was after school. So then we went over to my place. So we got to my house, and he decided to bring his friend, so I decided to grab my sister. At the time, the friend he brought was a little younger than him, and my sister was about his age, so we pretty much just sent them off to go play by themselves. While T's friend and my sister were hanging out in another room, me and T decided to start play fighting, and oh my god, did it get rough. See, he never hurted me too bad, and at the time I was trying to get my strength up, so I was purposely trying to train and fight him. I didn't win very much at all, but still, I was training at the time, and he was actually a really big help. I mean, I lost to him every time, but still. And for some reason, while this was going on, for some reason I started getting like more feelings for him, and I didn't understand. And yeah, so after we were done play fighting, while we were done play fighting, we kind of just went to our phones and kind of was just staring at our phones. And all of a sudden, all I hear from his phone is, zzz, zzz. Dude, she just asked me out. I told you it was going to happen, but this soon? Well, what's the answer? Is it gonna be yes or no? Well, we dated a few times and it just didn't work out. Well, I mean, you can always change those things. Yeah, I guess. I think I'm just gonna say yes. Do it? Go for it. Okay, I will. So, when he was saying yes, inside my little heart, my heart was going crack, 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 pop, crop, crop. And it was breaking, and I was like so sad. I was like, why did I tell him to do that? Anyway, he was like freaking out that now he's dating her again and that he was so happy. And then he's like, do you know what? I'm gonna go home now so I can give her a call and talk to her if that's okay. And then me, being me, I was like, oh yeah, it's fine, bye. And he's like, bye. And then he just left. And I'm like, no. Yeah, so I was still texting him throughout like that whole night. Even when he was quote unquote talking to his girlfriend, he was still texting me that whole time. And I was still texting him, and we were playing 21 questions, and it was getting spicy. Anyway, the next day happened, and I had to go to school and face S and C after everything I just did. So I'm at school the next day with S and C, and S is just going on and on about how her conversation with T was wonderful and how she loves him, because like I said, they've dated before, but it just never worked out. So she just talked about how this time it's not going to go wrong and they're going to get it right and everything. And I'm sitting at the side being like, mm-hmm. And I'm just listening to what she's saying. And then I'm just like, me being me, I was like, so what do you not like about him? Then she went off about a bunch of the things she didn't like about him. And I was just taking all of these in, and it was just going and going. Oh my god. Anyway, then at one point, I think it was either S or C, was like, what'd you do yesterday? And me being me, I was like, oh, I hanged out with T. And S was like, don't you dare try to date him. If you take him from me, we're no longer friends. We've stopped being your friends before, multiple times. This will be like the actual end, I swear. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm with her. And like, see, I thought she was like my best friend, and I thought she would always take my side, but she didn't, and at the end, she still left me for S. But whatever, I still got T anyway. Anyway, so I was like, me being me, I was like, oh, no, I would never date him. It's okay. He's all yours. I'm not even interested. He's not my type. When he totally was my type. Anyway, then the bell rang, and then I needed to go to my next class, which was with T. So I'm in class talking to T, and I was like, oh, well, what are some things you don't like about her? Because, like, I want to know both sides. Because, like, I really like this dude, and I wanted all of the dirty gossip and everything just so I can make a mind. It's so weird saying this now because I'm not even friends with this dude anymore. But at the time, anyway, he just like named off a bunch of lists and about things he didn't like about her and all this stuff. And I was like, well, here's the thing she said and she told me, but don't tell her I told you. And I legit actually told him everything. Everything! I don't know what was wrong with me, but I told him everything. And he's like, wow, she's a big B word. And I was like, yeah, totally, you should dump her. And he's like, yeah, maybe I will. And I don't know why, but I was like, let's hang out again. And he was like, yeah, sure. Anyway, I totally forgot what happened all after that. But then I remember it came to after school. So me and T are walking to his place now at this point. And he's going off about what he wishes he could have in a girl and all these things about girls. I was like, well, maybe you should look right in front of you. Maybe your dream girl's like right here. And he's just like going off. He's like, what do you mean by that? And I'm like, well, if S isn't what you want it to be, well then why don't you look for somebody else? And then he's like, well, maybe you're right. And they've only been dating for like a day. And they're like, and he's like already wanting to like leave her because of me. And I was like, to me, I was super happy, but I probably shouldn't have been at the time. But anyway, he was like, yeah, totally. I think I'm gonna break up with her. And I'm like, yeah, totally do it. So we go to his place, we hang out. Later on, I go home, he's at his place, and I get home to get a text message from S being like, T just asked me to the dance tomorrow. And I was like, good for you, even though I was like, I thought he was gonna break up with you. So I'm just like, what's going on here? So I text T and I'm like, so you're gonna have a dance with S? And he's like, well, first I wanted to have a dance with you, and then I was gonna go up to S and break up with S. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm getting all excited about it, and oh my god, I'm such a terrible person. Anyway, we played 21 questions again until the next morning, and the next morning was the dance, okay? Okay, so we're at like the Halloween party and stuff, and I was hanging out with my friend T, J, and me. So we're all hanging out over here because I was purposely staying away from S, Shay, and C because I knew what was going down. So I was purposely staying away from them. Don't worry, you'll get to know more about Shay, C, and S in later story times. Anyway, we're all talking, we're partying, and these guys over here are staring at me and T, and oh, it was embarrassing. Anyway, all of a sudden, a slow dance song comes on, and me being me, I was like, I'm just gonna go sit down because I don't have a partner, because I didn't have a boyfriend back in the day. So that's what I was gonna go do. And he's like, no, let's have a dance right now. And I was like, okay. And it was Ed Sheeran Thinking Out Loud, and it was like my favorite song. And I'm like, okay, I'm going for it. So me and T are slow dancing because Jay left, and I could see S, Shay, and C just staring at me, just glaring with their eyes like piercing and just ready to destroy me. And so me and him are dancing, and they actually let us have the whole slow dance together. So I did the slow dance with him for like 3 minutes to this whole Ed Sheeran song. And then at the final end, while T is talking about how great that was and everything, Shay comes out of nowhere going, da 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 da, and then starts yelling at me, and T just starts yelling, and she's like, how could you do this to S? You were best friends with her, and you're doing this to her, and we're like best friends, and all this other stuff that I can't quite remember because I wasn't listening. And then she goes off on T, and that's your girlfriend over there, and you're over here slow dancing with her, and oh, she was just losing her mind. And I guarantee these two told her to go do it, and she's just losing her mind on me and T, and I'm like secretly inside laughing. And then she like storms away, and then these guys are like, we're all out, and they leave the gymnasium, and we're just standing here laughing and joking around. And then I was like, I should probably go apologize. They're not going to be friends with me anymore. I need to do something. And he told me like the best thing in the world. And he gave me like the best advice ever in the whole world. And I took it to heart, and I still listen to it nowadays. Do you know what? You being friends with them is like jumping into a shark pit. No matter how many times you do it, they're just going to keep chewing you and chewing you and chewing you. You're just going to die eventually. And I took that to heart so much that I was like, yeah, you're right. And I definitely stopped talking to S, Shay, and C afterwards, because like these people, like he really opened my eyes to realize that these people weren't my friends, and they were more like sharks, and I was more like their bait. And I really took this to heart. And after the dance, we started dating for a few weeks, but it didn't last very long. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the story of how I stole my best friend's boyfriend. But I mean, it wasn't really stealing if he wanted me more. Anyway, yeah, so that's how I lost my friends, and I took my best friend's boyfriend. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Yeah, it was a little bit of a mess because it was my first story time. But if you guys do want to see more story times, let me know, and I'll bring more out because I have a lot to tell. Anyway, if you would like, the Discord server is still up if you'd like to join. My Discord name and code will be in the description below if you'd like to join. Just send me a friend request, and I will end up answering it and sending you the link to the Discord server, and then you can join me, and a few other people we have in the community in the Discord server. Anyway, I hope you guys did like this. If you did, please subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you guys in a later video. Bye!